Hello guys, welcome you to today's class on getting started with C++ programming. Uh, in today's class, we'll be looking at how to use switch function. If you remember in our last class, we talked about how to use if-else statement. So in today's class, we are going to look something that looks similar to if-else, and that is a switch operator. So to better understanding in today's class, I've prepared a slide to show the flowchart of switch operator. So here we have a switch statements with different flows. So basically, when we talk about switch, we mean a particular statement that will evaluate a given value against some conditions, or a particular conditions against some value or given values, different values. So here, if you look at this flowchart, you can see that we have a switch in which we have a particular condition, and then we are checking it against different cases. So here in case one, what we are going to do here is to first check this case one against the condition given under our switch, and check, is it true? If it is true, it will proceed through this way, and statement 1 under case 1 will be executed, and then it will go out of the switch block. In other way, when the case 1 is not true against the condition checked, it will be false, and it will go out of that and go to the next case. And that same procedure, what happened in case 1, will also repeat itself here. And then you can see that two other options are available here. It's either it is true and it will execute statement 2 and go out of the switch block, or if it is false, it will proceed to case 3 and also evaluate that one against the condition given. So you can have as many cases as you wish depending on what you are doing, but this is just a simple example to explain what is actually happening in switch condition or switch statement operation in C++. And in a case where you have checked all your cases and none of them is true when they are false, so you should always have a default case. And in this default case, it will just tell you that, okay, I've checked all the given cases, none of them is in compliance with what we have in our switch condition. So what I'm doing now is I'm executing just the default statement, what you have written in case after, if none of the cases are in tandem with what I have in my switch condition, and then it will execute this one and then go out of the switch block. So how we can picture this is by this simple example. Here what I've done is to try to use mathematical operators such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So we take this as our cases, different cases. So addition will be, let's imagine our addition is in case 1, subtraction is for the case of case 2, multiplication is case 3, division is case 4, and then in a case where none of these operators are available, it will be default, and then it will go out. So let's try to see how we can implement this in Visual Studio. So I will open Visual Studio now, and then we key in our code. So let's get started. So I open Visual Studio. So usually the way we used to write our program when we are, so this is in line 1, you can see I write switch operator. So I already prepared the class, so now we can write our code. So all the header files are already there. So we are using namespace standard just to see our input and output. So here, let's first make a comment. So let's say we are writing switch statement. Good. So let's start like this. And then what we are going to do first is let's say cout welcome to today's class on switch operator, yeah, something like this. And then end line, and then let's have C out, please enter the operation sign you wish to perform, yeah, something like this. And then C in. So here you are going to enter your operator, but however we made one mistake because we have not declared what our variable. So we said here, let's go back to the slide, sorry. So back to the slide, we said this is our operator, so we have to define operator and we have to define our variables so we can be very sure of what we are doing. So for the first, let's declare our variable, let's say float, because when we say float, x, y, yeah, and let's say character operator equals, let's say plus, yeah, something like this, yeah. Yeah, so now we have our operator, so we represent our operator as OPER, which is okay. So here, now when we come to cin operator, so we can put OPER and then terminate. And then let's say the next thing is to see out, please enter the variables for the operation, yeah. So we get a new line, and then again we enter our variables and then y, and then terminate. So now what we have done so far here, let me explain before we go far. So what we have done here is, first we declare a variable. So here we can say declaration of variable, and here states of operator, and then here we started by wanted, when we execute our program, it should execute what we are doing. So this is what we are doing here. So we say it should first show us the welcoming screen, and thereafter it will proceed to the next line, which is please, it will prompt the user to enter the sign to be performed. And thereafter you have the option to enter the sign, which is cin. And then thereafter it will prompt you as well to enter the variables you wanted to work on, or the values of the variable. So let's say enter the values of the variables, yeah, it's okay here. And then you have the option in the next line to do this one. So the next thing would be to now write our switch function. So let's say switch. So when we write switch, what do we want to switch? We want to be switching our operators. That's what we want to be switching. So let's say OPR operator, and then we start by writing case 1. So case 1. Now case 1, what do we have? So we say C out. So but in case 1, mind you, so we don't write it as case 1. So let's have it, let's imagine it's our plus. So let's say plus sign. So this is our case 1, right? And then here, addition of two numbers is, and then you put it. So here, what are you going to do? You are going to perform addition operations. So here, y, and then get a new line and proceed to the next. And what are you going to do next? So you say break, and after putting break, you terminate by writing semicolon. And then again, you go to the next one, the next one. So let's say here we are performing subtraction operation, and put colon, and then you write cout less than, and here you say subtraction of two numbers is, and then here again x end line, and then you proceed and write break and terminate. Again, your next case will be the case when it is let's say multiplication. So we use asterisk on your keyboard to denote multiplication. So and then you come next and write cout what do you want to perform. So you write multiplication of two numbers is, so here you are going to write x asterisk y, and then you terminal, you write break. And the next one will be case division, cout division of two numbers is, and then again you perform division operation. So x divide y, and then get a new line and break. So when you break, now we have performed all the 4 operations mentioned in our example. Now we have finished all the cases, so we needed to write a default. So come here and write default. Default means in case where none of them is in line with what you have written. So default, and then cout no, or let's say sign not recognized, maybe something like this. Let's say sign not recognized, yeah, something like this. And then, well, since it's not recognized, then you proceed and get a new line, and then terminate. So here we finish. What happened here? So end line, that was the mistake. Okay, we are okay now. And so here, before we debug, let's say we write system. So when we are debugging our, let's say here, pause. And then we terminate here. So here, now we finish. This is just a simple code to see how switch function uh, is used in C++. So when you have written your code, you come here under build and click on build. So and then build solution. So it will take a while to build. It will surely take a while. So but let's be patient. It will take a while. It will take a while. It will take a while. Yeah, it's still building. So when you are building your code, you should always come and be checking this show output from. So here you can see now it's finished building, and it shows build 1 succeeded, 0 failed, and 0 up to date, and 0 skipped. So once you see something like this, you know that your program has been compiled successfully without any error, and then you can proceed to debugging your code. So click on local Windows debugger. This also may take a little while. Yeah, so now, so you see, those are the first thing we wrote in our interface during our programming. So you see, we say first, welcome to today's class on switch operator, and please enter the operation sign you wish to perform. So what is the operation sign? Let's say, imagine we want to start with plus, so you say plus and then enter. You say now please enter the values of the variables for the operation. So what are the values? Let's say 65 and 78. So we enter two values, two variables. So here it says the addition of two numbers is 143. So you can see, so 143 after adding these two. So this is done. Again, when you debug again and you want to see, let's say maybe we try with let's say this time around we try with multiplication, and then it says we should enter the value. So let's say we wanted to multiply 20 by 45. We want to see what it will be. So when you press enter, it will show you the multiplication. So multiplication of two numbers is, so here when you multiply 20 by 45, you are going to have 900. So this is how you can use switch function. This is how you can use switch function. This is how you can use switch function. So this is pretty easy, and if you have opportunity to copy this code, you can actually follow it and then add your own. You can even increase it more than these cases. You can do many other operations. You can do cosine, you can do whatever. So this is the simple way, and I wish you the best in your learning. Bye.